evening, everyone. So it's currently 6:37 in the evening and I'm on my way down to Circular Quay. I've just got off the train at Varton Place, and today I'll be shooting on the car expressway, getting some photos of cars going towards the Sydney Harbour Bridge from on top of the car expressway. Now I also want to just have a look around for a few other spots that I can shoot during nighttime as well, because I've only just gone back into photography, so a lot of the locations I used to shoot on a regular basis, I've sort of forgotten where they are and good locations and things like that. So I want to try and find a few extra locations and maybe even shoot them tonight. But yeah, now I'm just walking towards Circular Quay, and once I get there I'll assess what I'll do. So I've come to a spot just next to the wharfs, and at the moment I've seen quite a nice composition with all the lights going towards the Sydney Harbour Bridge. I'm not too sure about it though, I'm just experimenting with the light. So at the moment I've got my Nissi natural night filter on and it's getting me some nice shots. Only problem are these little pillars, they're getting in my photo a little bit. And basically I'm focused to infinity, and I'm at 20 seconds at f8 ISO 100, but that's proving to not be long enough, so I'm gonna dial it down to f6.3 ISO 100. And for city I like to go fluorescent so you get truest colors. And 2 seconds, I'm focused to infinity, and that'll just mean that everything in the shot, end of the image, will be in focus. I mean, that's quite a nice photo. Actually, you know what? I might try a portrait orientation, because I am seeing some potential with that by just inspecting the image closer. And I guess that's why it's always good to inspect the image on the back of your camera after you've taken it, because you might actually see a composition that's better than the one that you're shooting. Or if there's an element you don't want to improve, like I didn't realize but this pillar here was in my shot and I don't want that, so I'm going to go into live view. It's really all just about playing with composition. I've actually never shot this composition before, which is uncommon for me because I shoot so much in the city. So I'm going to try this portrait orientation shot, and I actually like this composition a lot more than the last one. It's more zoomed in to the harbour bridge. It's got the white lights leading the eye out to the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Actually, there's a flag blowing there, and since it's a long exposure, that flag is going to get really blurred and I don't want that. So I'm going to get that out of my photo. 2 second timer, 20 seconds, f6.3 ISO 100. So I'm actually getting some really nice reflections in the water here, and I've decided to move my composition down a little bit to cut out the dead space in the sky and include more of the reflections in the water. It's coming out really nicely actually. I'm at 20 seconds, so it's giving me some really nice, smooth, silky water, which I really want. And this filter that I'm using here, it just makes the photo look a lot more clean at night time. It cuts out some of the light pollution, and it gives it a nice blue tint, which you can edit in after, in post-processing. But the way this filter does it, it just looks incredible. It's the Nissi Natural Night Filter, and if you're thinking about getting it, I highly recommend it, especially if you shoot a lot of astro or city shoots. So I'm actually quite happy with the photos I've been able to get here. So I'm going to move on to the next spot, which is actually above me there. It's called the Car Expressway, and it overlooks Circular Quay. It has a great view of the museum, and then that road looks onto the harbour bridge. And it's always been a favourite spot of mine. I've shot there about 4 or 5 times, and I really do like shooting there, and I found that spot about 2 years ago when I was scouting locations with one of my mates. So I'm going to move up there, and actually it's quite a hidden spot. The way that you get up there isn't that widely known, so I'll show you guys how to get up there. So the way to get up to Car Expressway, the wharfs and the station are over there, and there's a lift that goes up to there, just here. So I've gone to the Car Expressway, and actually the spot that I'm going to is all the way pretty much down the end. It's a bit of a walk along the expressway, but it's a beautiful view. The only problem with shooting on this expressway is it's actually a bridge, so you do get a bit of vibration from the cars going past, especially if a big truck or a bus goes past. And if you're doing a long exposure, it can sort of cause quite a bit of shake in your photos. But if you've got a heavy tripod like I do, like, God, this is heavy, this tripod, you should be alright. I've never really had too much problems with the shake on this bridge. I have in the past when I was using one of my lighter tripods, but from now on, since then, I've always just used my Manfrotto on this expressway because it makes a noticeable difference. But God, it is a beautiful view, and I love this spot. So I've arrived at the spot, and the point of this spot is to try and get the cars going underneath this part of the bridge. Sorry about the car noise behind me, by the way. And get those car lights going across in a long exposure. Now I'm actually gonna go vertical for this one, because you can sort of consider the buildings around it as dead space, but one of the iconic spots here is actually the Contemporary Museum, so I want to make sure that I include that in the photo. But this is a very well-known spot that quite a few photographers use. Not many members of the public know about that lift, although they seem to on Vivid. So I've got my Nissi natural night filter on here, and honestly I'm gonna go 20 seconds f6.3 ISO 100, so pretty much the same settings as I had last time. Focus on that harbour bridge. I'm going to just zoom into the live view so I can make sure that I get the harbour bridge in focus. That looks about right. It looks a lot different to on the camera screen to on here. And now we just need to wait for a car. Actually, the cars don't come by here at the moment that much, although they don't really come by here much at all. Thing is, the weather here in Sydney has been so crazy lately. It's been hard to shoot or do anything. So I've actually been waiting here for about 5 minutes for a car, and it's just not coming. I've seen a couple come the other way, but I want those red lights, not the white lights. Let's just take one. And it's a 20-second exposure, so I might actually capture some while it's going. You never know. Unless that road's closed or something. So I've actually just had 3 cars go through the scene. Oh yes, and there's another car. Yeah, that's really nice. I love this spot. I've shot here a few times. I always get a nice photo here. So I'm just having a look at the image, just double checking that it's all in focus, and it looks incredible. Those red lights just look perfect. I do wish that I got a set of front car lights on the other side, but you know, I'm glad I got the red ones though. So as it's getting a little bit late, and I am quite happy with that photo, not fully happy, but you know, I can always come back another time. I'm going to move on to another spot. I'm actually gonna go over to the Sydney Opera House. It's a little bit of a walk, but I don't mind. Yeah, I am quite happy with that photo. Everything was pin sharp, which I was really happy with. The color was so nice. I don't think these photos are gonna need any editing almost at all. So I've arrived at the spot and I've found a really nice view of the Opera House with some of the lights around it and things like that. And I've noticed that the clouds above the Opera House are quite intense. So I think what I want to do is actually bracket this shot so that I get the clouds in it nicely exposed as well as the Opera House nicely exposed. So I'm actually going to start at 20 seconds f6.3 ISO 100 and I'm focused on the Opera House. So for the first one I'm going to expose for the sky, so that'll mean that the Opera House will be a little bit overexposed, but yeah, for this one I'm going to expose for the sky, so that's 20 seconds f6.3 ISO 100 and go 2-second timer. So I reckon now I'm going to go 10 seconds and the rest is the same. Hopefully those people, actually I want to just check the focus on that. Yep, pin sharp, perfect. Few seconds. So it's 10 seconds at f6.3. Now for the last one, I'm going to go 6 seconds f6.3. So I'm going to leave this video here. It's been quite a long one and I do apologise for that. But thank you all so much for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end of the video. You guys are incredible. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing. I do mostly sunrise and sunsets, but today I wanted to do a bit of night photography with the Car Expressway and Circular Quay and then this spot here. I actually found a really nice spot down there, which I'm very glad I did. So yeah, so I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.